Disclaimer, this video is not about anything important whatsoever. It is absolutely, this topic is completely inconsequential. It does not represent a very real complaint or criticism from me. It's really just not that important. It's just kind of something that I want to talk about, and it's another reason I'm so happy about this channel. Like, it just anything that's on my mind, and I know that I need to reach a point where I'm just making the videos and not constantly commenting on how fun I think it is. It's a second channel with like quick videos. It's not even a big thing. I don't know, but something about it. I could have done it all this time, and yet now I'm doing it. The novelty has not worn off. Point is, though, it's really actually not a big deal. It's just, it's something that's been bugging me. I'll say it. It's been bugging me. So recently at the Indie World Showcase, they gave us a new trailer for Antonblast with a release date, Switch, all that stuff. They released a demo. I streamed myself playing the demo. It was a lot of fun. And then I also did an impressions video for the game. So it's been just a lot of like, just, you know, doing Antonblast related stuff, a lot of Antonblast discourse. And there is something that I noticed about the discourse, both in the chat during the stream and in the comments for the VOD over on Arlo Plays, or the comments on my impressions video. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. It's something I think we've all noticed, is that in the discourse surrounding the game, there is a lot of talk about Pizza Tower. And that is natural to a degree. Absolutely, because both games are, you know, are basically Wario-likes. They just kind of, they borrow heavily from the Wario Land games, and they're both, they're just, you know, they kind of embody that spirit, and I get that, and that's, you know, that's absolutely a valid thing to bring up. But my issue is that I feel like people might be taking things a little bit too far, because basically there is I guess it's a meme. That's the thing, is people don't play it like it's a meme, but I guess it's a meme. I think, basically chiming in to say, this is a Pizza Tower ripoff. And that, of course, is ridiculous. I think it's usually played for laughs, even though that's the problem with jokes on the internet. I see people saying things like that genuinely all the time. Every single day I see people who just say things that are just completely objectively false, completely off base, and they're real about it. So I see this, and I'm pretty sure most people are joking, because of course it's not true. They are both inspired by Wario Land. They both had parallel developments. One did not inspire the other necessarily. Apparently the creators are even like friends and stuff, or what, just they are two similar but separate projects. One is not a ripoff of the other. It is objectively untrue. But you see a lot of people saying that. And again, it's a little bit, to me, a joke should usually be obvious that it's a joke, especially if you're saying something kind of mean. And I think that is where I'm taking issue here, is that it's kind of a mean thing to say. It's not like completely harmless, you know, saying something completely harmless and kind of random, and a lot of people might not even get that you're joking, but anybody who gets the joke is gonna see that and be like, I get it, that's funny. If anything, you playing it straight is the joke. That's what makes it funny. But in this case, it's so off base that to me, it's not funny. It's really not funny. And to see so many people doing it, I see, and that's the thing, is the line between like reality and joking, I don't even know, because some of these, they're doing it in a really mean way. You know, this looks like a crummy Pizza Tower ripoff, you know, just using really strong language. And it's just like, I get where you're coming from, but it's not funny, especially seeing so many people do it. There's just such a dramatic amount of people doing it. And so that's a problem. That's already something that I think is just, it's not funny. And yet everyone's doing it, and we kind of just all have to put up with it. You kind of just have to be exposed to that one joke, but over and over and over again, and it was already not funny because it's just like not true at all. I feel like there's got to be an element of truth or something in order for it to be fun. I don't know, I didn't get like deep into like what makes a joke funny. So that's already an issue, but then like I would say less of an issue, but still an issue in my eyes, is other people, intentioned people, still bringing up Pizza Tower, not to make a joke about how Antonblast is a ripoff or anything, but still just like kind of compulsively comparing the two. Do you know what I mean? Like having to bring it up or recommend. And there's nothing wrong with recommending games. And here's the thing, I need to stop right here. And tell you that no individual person, okay, if you made a mean version of the joke, that's kind of one thing. But for the most part, no one should feel bad about this. You know, if you see this video and you find some truth in it and it makes you like, oh man, I didn't realize. I don't want any one person to feel bad, because this is not something that was perpetrated by any one person. This is kind of just one of those things where it's partially a lot of people kind of getting together in on the joke and adding to it, that's what memes are. Like, I get that. But it's also just like people might have the idea to make a comment, not realizing that a lot of other people made the same comment and not really, like, you know what I mean? So it's like no one person is like doing it to be purposefully whatever. So like, yeah, do not feel bad if you are one of the people that I'm referencing here. It's kind of, okay, here's an example. It's kind of like Cookie Monster jokes from me. You know, like, I play along with it. It's a little funny. I get it. We look a little similar. I don't see the similarity as much as a lot of other people, but I get it. And people say it to me all the time, even in person. I get it a lot. And each individual person thinks that they're just making an observation. And they're not thinking about how I might have gotten that from about 10,000 other people before them. You know what I mean? And again, and if you've made a Cookie Monster joke, again, it's like, it's not even something to feel bad about. I get it. I play along with it. I make Cookie Monster jokes sometimes. I get it. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like having a friend named Lydia, and you know, how often do you get jokes about that song? That was it, Lydia the Tattooed Lady? Like that kind of thing. You know, like one person might make that reference and like it's all in good fun, but everyone does that, and this person has to just live with that. And so to swing it back around to Antonblast, it's kind of like even the people who are just recommending it to me, just saying, hey, if you like this, you should try Pizza Tower, but like kind of not recognizing that like 1,000 other people, I just like, you know, we all know about Pizza Tower at this point. We know what Pizza Tower, you know, was coming out. It was a big thing. We know that that's another, it's a part of this conversation. It's impossible to not, you know, if you know about Antonblast, probably know about Pizza Tower. And it's just like, and again, it's not bad to recommend a game, but looking at the comments, all of the discourse between the memes and people just saying, hey, if you like this, you'd like Pizza Tower. It's like this entire conversation is about Pizza Tower. It's not about Antonblast anymore. I can't even read these comments because people aren't even talking about Antonblast. They're just talking about Pizza Tower. And I can't help but look at it. I mean, like, even just me, even I'm a little tired of it. Even I'm just like, I just want to talk about Antonblast. Like, I get it. Pizza Tower's a thing. It's a similar game. But, like, just stop bringing it up. It feels like a compulsion to just, like, it's an association thing. We're talking about Antonblast, so we also have to talk about Pizza Tower. But I have to think of it from the perspective of the people who made Antonblast, that every Twitter thread, every comment section, every conversation anyone anywhere is having about their game, 75% of the people are just talking about Pizza Tower, whether they're joking and like jokingly calling it a ripoff, which is just, again, imagine being the people who made Antonblast. That's not funny. It's not funny, even if you're doing it like totally ironically. Like, oh, well, obviously it's not. That's what makes it funny. But like, I don't know, imagine, for another metaphor, analogy, imagine going to a person's art show. You know, they've got their big painting on the wall and people come and they look at it and they talk to the artist. And like, most of the people come up and they look at this gorgeous painting and they go, it's garbage, haha, that's just a rip off of this other painting over here. Like, it's, you know, say it's a beautiful picture of, whatever, a tree. But there's another picture of a tree down the hall. Ah, it's just a ripoff of that one. Am I right? And they nudge him in the rib with their elbow. But then, like, the next person says that, and the next person says that, and 75% of I keep saying 75, it's not exact, but you know what I mean. A tremendous amount of the conversation about this art piece is just talking about that other painting. Like, that would feel awful. Like, imagine it from the perspective of the creators of Antonblast. The entire conversation surrounding their game is completely dominated by a different game. Between people making jokes about it, or people just saying, hey, if you like this, try Pizza Tower. Just like Antonblast discourse is Pizza Tower discourse. That's got to feel awful. I know that would make me feel awful. I'm getting secondhand annoyed for them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. It's just, again, just like, no one person needs to feel bad about it. It's one of those things that just kind of happens naturally. Kind of like there are certain jokes or things that people say, or even like YouTubers do the same thing. They'll have the same kinds of ideas simultaneously, separately. They're not really copying each other. It's just kind of like you make these kinds of videos. This is the kind of joke you're going to come up with. You know what I mean? It's just, I guess really just all this to say, if anyone's watching this and you want to keep talking about Antonblast, I recommend just cooling it with the Pizza Tower stuff. Just, I want to just talk about Antonblast, and I'm sure the creators would love to just talk about Antonblast. And I get Pizza Tower, it came first, it's got a lot of memes, it's got a lot of fans, and so like that kind of momentum is kind of spilled over into here, so now Antonblast is trying to do its own thing, and you've already got all these people who are making jokes about it and stuff, and comparing them, and mixing them, and making memes and stuff. Like, that's definitely cool. Not saying like there can be no crossover whatsoever. It's more just discourse. It's more just talking about it. I'm imploring people to just consider not compulsively bringing up Pizza Tower when talking about Antonblast. Let's just have a good conversation about Antonblast, because it's really, really amazingly cool, and I cannot stress it enough. I already went into it with the impressions video and stuff, but just the game looks so incredibly good. I've already got more stuff I want to say about it. Like, I hope I get to do a full review eventually. And that is all that I have to say about that. Really just something on my mind I just kind of wanted to get off my chest. And there it is. It has been said. Thank you for listening to my Antonblast Pizza Tower rant. And have a good day. Goodbye.